Focusing on startups and disruptive technology, wireless charging provider PowerMat recently announcing new partnerships with Starbucks, GM, and Duracell. PowerMat President Daniel Schreiber stopped by the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and spoke with Bloomberg's Elliot Gotkin.
One of the biggest banes of modern life has to be charging your phones or your devices. You either can't find a charger, you can't find a plug socket, or you run out of juice while you're on the go. Well, one company says that it has resolved this problem, or at least is on the way to doing so. The company is PowerMat, and its president is Daniel Schreiber. Daniel, thanks for joining me. You've got an example of your PowerMat here. Now, it doesn't look like much of a mat, but just tell me exactly how it works.
Absolutely. So, as you said, we're about making sure that you can go throughout your day without having to think about power. And together with Duracell, we've created Duracell PowerMat, which offers cases and mats which allow you to charge throughout your day. So this device here is not only a protective case for my iPhone, but also a battery case, so I can keep charged throughout. But it charges wirelessly simply by being placed on one of the Duracell PowerMat mats.
Okay, now you've signed a number of impressive deals recently. You're in some Starbucks now. You're going to be in GM cars as well. What's the next step for you? What are you targeting?
Well, that's exactly right. For this really to become a transformative technology, it has to become ubiquitous. The aim is that we as consumers shouldn't have to think about power. We just go about our day and power will get into the devices automatically. And for that to happen, it has to be pervasive. So GM putting it in cars, as you mentioned, Starbucks has been putting it into more and more stores, most recently in Silicon Valley. McDonald's across Europe and in the US has begun testing this technology. Madison Square Gardens in New York has about 600 of these charging spots installed. So seeing it move from being an early adopter kind of technology to being pervasive so that it transforms our lives.
Now, you've raised, more than $100 million so far. Is that it? Are you going to need to raise more money? And are you going to be part of the next wave of Israeli companies listing perhaps on NASDAQ?
We're not in a fundraising mode. We're fortunate to be backed by some very substantial investors and to have what is a substantial war chest. So we're pretty well set on the financing front for now.
Okay, and in terms of your target, I mean, you've mentioned a few of the areas. I mean, what are you going to be in aeroplanes? I mean, you want to be basically everywhere. Is that it?
The aim is to do for power what Wi-Fi did for data. When Wi-Fi came along, suddenly we didn't have to think about cables and cords and all different adapters. It just became automatic that data arrived on our devices. The vision is the same vision, but here we're cutting the very final cord. We've cut all the cords but one. So once we manage to do this and power just arrives on your devices, then we will have achieved our goal.
PowerMat President Daniel Schreiber joining us there from the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange with our own Elliot Gotkin.